Exactly, man.
My brother from another mother. I mean, I hope so, because my mom was kind of a skank back in the day.
With the recent release of Trailer 2 along with a full-on content dump from Rockstar, everyone's busy admiring the jiggle physics and the beautiful landscapes Vice City has to offer.
It was perfect.
Having now watched this trailer enough times to ask for a special edition version of the game based on the ad revenue Rockstar made on me alone, I think it's the perfect time to delve a bit deeper into everything that we know so far about the characters that we have seen in the recent content dump. Without wasting too much time, let's get to the topic of this video right away. I think it's quite clear to everyone who has ever seen a movie or watched any kind of show that this game will be a full-on spectacle. The characters themselves seem like they will be a perfect blend of what we got in GTA 4 with the gritty realism mixed with the over-the-top nature of GTA 5's diverse cast of characters. First off, we already have had the opportunity to meet Lucia in the first trailer as well as in the leaks that happened back in 2022. She seems like a perfect female protagonist for the average GTA player. Well, at least judging by the jiggle physics alone.
Nice.
Now, Lucia Caminos was born in Liberty City, presumably sometime during the 2000s, in a household that actually had a present father, which is a first for the GTA series. From a young age, Lucia's father trained her and taught her how to defend herself, presumably teaching her some kind of martial art along the way. If we take a closer look at the detailed content dump on Rockstar's site, we can see that she and potentially her mother moved out of Liberty at some point. The real reason for this is yet to be revealed, but considering it's a Rockstar game, witness protection is not out of the question.
I've been in witness protection. I still am.
Witness protection for what?
On a serious note though, the little detail about her mother wanting a better life for them tells me that their life in Liberty absolutely sucked. Considering that her father prepared her from a young age to be a fighter means that he either was a criminal himself or was in some kind of way connected to the criminal underworld of Liberty City. Either way, whatever the reason might be that she moved out from Liberty, her life in Vice City obviously didn't go as expected. Rockstar has already revealed that the love for her family is the reason that she ended up in prison in the first place, probably meaning that she either assaulted someone who was trying to hurt her family or did a job in hopes of getting some quick cash to help out her mother or any other relatives. One thing that is really interesting is the fact that Rockstar said that sheer luck got her out, meaning that this thing might go a lot deeper than we really think. This all, of course, is still hypothetical and no way really gives us a full overview of her entire story. But looking at the leaked data from 2022, Lucia will certainly be one of Rockstar's best characters, and if they somehow actually manage to tie Luis Lopez and her, I think all of his 109 fans, including me, will be extremely happy. Next up is the man that I personally can't wait to turn into a fat blob if the game allows us to, just so his best friend Cal doesn't actually feel insecure next to this Greek god. Jason Duval is probably one, if not the most badass looking GTA protagonist ever since the days of this man.
Brother,
Of course, I'm kidding, as he definitely will take top spot once this game actually releases. Jason is the male protagonist and a guy who grew up around grifters and crooks. Hoping to get a better life and escape from the criminal underworld, he ended up joining the army. Of course, we can see that his stint there didn't really work out, and Jason found himself right back where he started, doing exactly what he was trying to avoid, and that's smuggling illegal goods. Now, at some point in the game's story, we can see that his veteran smuggler friend Brian allowed Jason to stay at one of his properties on the condition that he helps him with his local racket. From this, we can see that Jason will probably start out in the Keys, doing simple smuggling work as well as some racketeering work for Brian. Personally, I can't figure out if Jason and Lucia already know each other before the game even starts, or if they will be meeting each other at one point in the story. The second trailer kinda makes it seem like they already know each other, but what if we get to know them first and only afterwards does Lucia end up in prison? Hell, what if those cutscenes are just a showcase of the prison mechanic from RDR 2, done in an even more immersive way? Either way, these are just hypotheticals, so put down your pitchforks, please. Next up, we have one character that really looks like he will be an integral part to the early story, and that's Brian Heder. Brian's backstory that is given to us on the page is extremely vague, giving no real information other than the fact that he's a classic smuggler from the golden age of smuggling in the Keys. Now, in his latest stage of life, he's still moving product through his boatyard with his now third wife, Lori.
Doing stuff, Lori.
Brian knows all the ins and outs of the trade and has been around long enough to let others do all the dirty work for him. He's basically Lester without the hacking or the molesting part.
What?
Brian seems like a character that will do right by Jason and probably have his back. Despite being kind of an asshole, he seems like Jason and eventually Lucia will have his respect, and he'll most likely in the end help them in some way, probably helping them lay low somewhere outside of the city. With Brian out of the way, we have to focus on Jason's best friend, Cal. This guy looks like a perfect blend of an average 4chan user and Rockstar's idea of a conspiracy theorist. Carl was definitely born in the state of Leonida. He spends his days either hanging out with Jason or back home. He's a conspiracy theorist through and through, and that much we most certainly know, as Rockstar themselves put that out on the site for everyone to see. Cal seems like a chill happy character that likes to get buzzed and talk about the mind control devices that the government is hiding inside of every single phone. Cal is described to be casually paranoid, which honestly is just a code word for extremely unstable. I feel like he will be the Ken Rosenberg or Brucey Klebitz type of character of GTA 6. The guy that will be extremely annoying but also kind of lovable. Either way, I have to say that I'm excited to see what we'll be doing with Cal once the game actually releases. Next up, we have Booby Ike, or this universe's version of Suge Knight. Booby Ike at this point is described as a local legend. He's one of the few that managed to make it legit, well, at least in terms of putting up a legit front for his background of illicit operations. Booby seems like a guy that will play a major role in Jason and Lucia's rise to the top. He doesn't really give off a promising role in terms of friendship to the main duo, but he sure as hell seems like a guy that won't be of any detriment to them either. Now, of course, I could be absolutely wrong on this, and the guy might turn out to be a full-fledged Michael Bell of this universe, only looking out for himself. But either way, it'll be extremely fun interacting with this character. We already know that he owns a club, a studio, as well as a label called Only Raw Records. On the site, it said that he's mostly invested in his partnership with the young music mogul Draquan Priest, whom he is banking on to find him a hit single and rack in that money. If we look at this from a historical rap perspective, Draquan Priest and Booby Ike really seem like a modern day rendition of Suge Knight and Dr. Dre. It might sound like a bit of a reach, but these names definitely have some kind of connection to those two, especially considering the names, their roles, and how they are described by Rockstar themselves. Draquan is a native of Vice City, a guy who spent his early childhood hustling to get into the position that he's in now. On the site, it clearly says that he has always been more of a hustler than a gangster. Even when he was dealing on the streets to make ends meet, breaking into the music business was his ultimate goal. Not a lot of information is provided about this character other than the fact that he's an artist himself, as well as the fact that he signed the Real Dimes, who he will be covering shortly. He spends his days booking acts into Booby's strip club and in the studio working on potential bangers. Other than this, we can speculate that he's also involved in any kind of illegal activity that Booby is doing in the background. That means we'll probably be doing either some kind of heist or smuggling missions with him or for him. If I had to bet what kind of mission we would have to do, I would say there would be something similar to the Dr. Dre DLC in GTA Online, where we would have to retrieve either his album or a potential hit single. Using the leaks that we got back in 2022 as a rough guide, we can see that Draquan will most likely be a very important part of the story. Especially as we see him with Jason in the official trailer and with both Jason and Lucia in the leaks when he's leading them through the nightclub to likely meet with Booby Ike. Now, in the leaks we had a few voice lines that he did while introducing Jason and Lucia to Booby, but obviously I cannot show any of these as I would rather stay on the good side of everyone's favorite Take-Two fitness influencer. With Draquan and Booby out of the way, we can take a closer look at the Real Dimes, and if we do that, we can clearly see that these two, called Paylux and Roxy, are best friends since high school. These two are obviously going to be a direct parody of the typical internet persona that we have today, judging by the viral videos, viral hooks line that Rockstar used in their showcase image. They are a rap duo hoping to hit another viral song, as an early hit single with a local rapper named Downplay took them to new heights, but ever since then, they never really managed to replicate that same feeling. Who they are supposed to be in real life, I'm not exactly sure, but a lot of folks are speculating that they are based on the city girls who originate from Miami themselves. Not much is really known about them based on the leaks, at least I couldn't tie anything together, but based on what happened to them in real life, I'm guessing that Rockstar will pull off a similar scenario where they either split or turn on each other in some way. Rockstar tells us in the game that they've officially signed with Only Raw Records, hoping to create a hit song once more. These characters seem like they will play a major role in the Drake 1 and Booby arc of the GTA story, and honestly, I can't wait to see how Rockstar will actually have this arc play out. And for the last official character that we got, we have one of the sexiest looking motherfuckers in the entire GTA universe, Arturo Morgano Jr. Oh, sorry. I mean, Angel Batista.
Just go down on
The guy who, based on this screenshot alone, would easily steal your girl, mother, grandmother, and even your grandfather in the blink of an eye. Rockstar didn't really give us much in the trailer in regards to this character, but on the site we see that Raul is a seasoned bank robber, always looking for fresh new talent that can help him out in his day-to-day activities. Raul looks like a guy who lived a high-risk, high-reward lifestyle for his entire existence, and judging by Rockstar's description of this character, he seems like he's getting more reckless with each new score that they make. What this exactly means to Jason and Lucia is yet to be seen, but as Rockstar says, sooner or later his crew will have to double down or pull their chips from the table. Now, could this mean that Raul will be a guy that eventually betrays Jason and Lucia? Considering it's Rockstar, I wouldn't write it off, but from my perspective, I would like a twist that doesn't include constant backstabbing. I'd rather see Raul sacrifice himself because he ends up falling in love with bloody Jason, rather than have him betray the duo in any way. Now that would actually be a better twist, considering all the betrayals that we had to go through both in the GTA as well as in the RDR universe.
How much more betrayal can I take?
Now in the leaks, a few mentions of his initials can be seen, showing up as RP on a few occasions, meaning that he will be a recurring character. It is quite clear that the main duo will only meet him somewhere down the line, probably once they get to a point where their appetites grow exponentially. As said, this guy could serve as a mentor or a villain, and either works just based on his looks, as he fits the part perfectly. But I have also read some theories that he could be a third playable character, and honestly, that sounds like a good idea on paper, but the possibility of that happening is extremely low. But anyways, as said earlier, all I care about is that we don't get a generic betrayal again, as we have had enough of those already.
Left me to die.
A few other characters that we haven't yet directly seen but have been mentioned and that we know about from the leaks are Wyman, Brian's third wife Lori, Sam, who is supposed to be a friend of Drake 1, along with Tit, who was part of the leaks back in 2022. Wyman seems like a guy who will be an integral part of the story, providing us with repo jobs, giving us access to fronts, and potentially being our personal mechanic. Brian's wife Lori will probably just be a background character with not much going on in her boring life. Now Sam and Tit could potentially be one of these guys that we see in the second trailer, but not much is known about them other than the fact that they are friends of Drake 1. Next to these guys, we have a few unconfirmed characters named Billy, Zach, Danny, and Iris. Now who these characters actually are and what role they will play, we do not know. But we will definitely start seeing glimpses of them when Rockstar starts preparing for the final marketing push. Anyways, what characters are you most excited to meet in GTA 6? And who do you think will be the coolest out of all of them? My bet is on Raul being the one to steal yours and everyone else's heart. I mean, my man looks like Arthur Morgan and probably has the charisma of Dutch Van der Linde. That will be enough to melt some hearts on its own. Now, thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and a big thank you to all the 785 people that ended up subscribing. You folks are the best. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button and of course subscribe for a chance to win an RTX 7090 card once this channel reaches 10 million. Stay silly, keep edging, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.